Welcome to the Vinyl Collective, your weekly journal of the hip-hop and R&B landscape. I'm your host, John.
And I'm your host, Sofa. Welcome back. 30 for 30, John.
We're here.
30 for 30.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Feels pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to be at this number already, but then, we're almost there at a year. We're over half the way through the year.
Yeah, it's true. It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we kind of made that joke on our social media, right? About 30 for 30, looking back and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's been pretty cool. But one thing I was thinking about, right? Like, what have I learned over like the past 30 episodes, 30 weeks, whatever it is? And one thing I still haven't really gotten a grasp of. So the thing about me, right? I'll still do things even though I know it's probably a bad idea. Like, for example, you're not going to have like a hot chocolate and then dig into ice cream after because your teeth are going to be fucked. So the other day, right, I went swimming. Right? And I already knew before I left the fucking house, you don't have goggles, you probably should find them. Like, I have goggles, I just couldn't find them, right? It's like, you probably should find them. Like, you should 100% go and look for those. I was like, whatever, it's only like a couple hours, should be fine. My eyes were so fucked. Like, it was to the point, right? When I woke up, I could have my eye crust for cornflakes. Like, it was fucked. It was so bad. Like, all the chlorine just dried my eyes out. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But that's the thing. Sometimes, like, I consider myself a relatively intelligent guy in it, but I just don't learn. I don't learn sometimes. And that's fine. I've already accepted that as part of my nature. So similarly, right? It's like a razor. They call it like a razor cake, right? Like, you eat the cake, but there's a razor inside. Like, fuck, the cake's so good, but your mouth's bleeding. Similar, if you're a Tottenham Hotspur fan, you probably get what I'm trying to say here. Anyways, so the same thing happened, right? Like, so I know with DJ Khaled, right? I know it's probably going to be shit. But then he always pulls you in with the fucking features that he has, right?
Like, come on. I haven't listened to any of them. I'm not doing
No, man, I had to. Like, I saw Jay-Z, I saw Nas, I was like,
on the same song.
Yeah, it's just, I'm picking up whatever you're putting down right now. So I just had to listen to it. And again, I get fucked over because the song is just not that good. Every time. Welcome, guys. So you haven't heard this song then?
I have not. I think, if I've heard it, I think I just heard the Jay-Z verse on it.
Oh, okay, yeah. But that went around a lot.
Yeah, I haven't. Did Nas deliver at all on it?
He was alright. He was basically talking about being rich off crypto, as you do. So.
Oh, yes. Right. That was stuff I'd seen people write about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys giving out financial advice.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do at that age, right? Here's how I made money. Even though a lot of it's by chance. But whatever. Enjoy your life in it. So, yeah.
Let's just talk about Little Simz again. She's a weekly feature on this podcast.
Okay.
She released a sort of 30-second clip of her new single, which will be released. Mm-hmm. You're probably listening to this episode and it's already out.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's releasing it Thursday evening, called Woman. Yeah, second single off this upcoming album, Simbi. Obviously clear soul vocals on it. We will know that they just work a treat together. So what was your impression of the first kind of clip? Little teaser.
That's the thing. I actually wasn't expecting to talk about this week because I was just like, let's just wait for the song, innit?
Really?
But,
let's talk about the teaser.
Yeah, the teaser, it sounded good. It sounded more of what I expected, right? Just good music. Like Cleo Soul on the chorus. I expected that. Sounds really good. The visuals look a lot better than Introvert. So I think I'm expecting more from the video rather than the song this time round.
In the museum again, it seemed, right?
Oh, are they really? No,
it looked like it from the stairs. No,
they looked like there was some in some sort of like big ass mansion. They had like the fountain outside. Is that the museum again? I've never been to the National.
I need to go back to it again.
So I'm not too sure. No, I haven't.
It's a
must. I should go, isn't it? Yeah. But
it feels like stepping back into the 1990s though. It's pretty old.
I don't mind that, to be honest. I don't mind that. I'm a fan of history. I mean, that's why we're here, right? We're kind of documenting the times, aren't we? So I haven't really. Again, similar to what I said to DJ Khaled, right? I don't want to like grab the bait and be like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be sick, even though it's like fucking 10-15 seconds of the song. I'm expecting a good thing. I'm expecting good things because obviously Introvert was a good song, as we mentioned. Selfish, when she had a notable feature, that was a good song as well. So yeah, hopefully more the same. Really. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the trio, right? Inflo, Cleo, and Simbi, can't go wrong. Cannot
really can't go wrong.
But yeah, another big announcement obviously yesterday was J. Cole bringing out the off season. not the fall off, the off season. You'd be forgiven for getting confused, which I did a few times. But yeah, I feel like I saw maybe 2 or 3 different types of opinions, which encompasses everybody's reaction to this album, which was either it's a classic already, it's going to be a classic, and I saw a few of those tweets and I was like, let's save these for later. A few people like me who were just very, very excited and were like, this is highly anticipated. And then those people who I feel like have learnt from the past and they're like, you know what, it's going to be cool, but I'm going to wait and reserve judgment because they don't want to be caught up in the hype, and then he drops something that's. I feel like a lot of people didn't like For Your Eyes Only, so I feel like they don't want to, put an opinion out there and get caught out again.
Not even For Your Eyes Only. Obviously, For Your Eyes Only wasn't even his most recent project. It was KOD.
KOD. Yeah.
Which was, so.
I feel like that got a better reaction, though, than For Your Eyes Only.
It did, but I think it's equally as memorable. Take that as you will. I mean, there you go. I mean, here's the thing with Cole, right? So the reason why it's so important to notice the distinction between the off season and the fall off, which is apparently still happening. So if I don't know why people are acting like that's just a thing that happens. Like, oh, that's just totally fine. Like, here's the thing, right? If I go to fucking a restaurant, right, and I order a steak. And well done, not even a well done, fuck a well done, who the hell am I? If I order like a medium steak, right? And they bring back like some, I don't know, roasted chicken. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I ordered the steak. Like, you're not going to act like that just didn't happen. And I asked them, like, oh, don't know what you're talking about, mate. I mean, we don't sell steak here. Yeah. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So the fall off is still happening, but then in between that coming, there's been 2 new projects that have come out of nowhere. I know people are like, yeah, but you mentioned this a few months ago. In terms of making albums, a few months is like nothing. That's no time. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, or even you've ordered the steak and then they bring you out a starter and they bring out the little chicken skewers. Like, what? Yeah, it's like, I didn't order a starter. Order a fucking starter. Like, who do you think I am? I'm allergic to scallops. Like, why did you bring this? Like, I don't really understand. Not even that, they're bringing 2 starters and they're going to add it to your bill as if you were always going to pay for this. Like, fuck out here, man. Like, I don't really understand. Like, it's not complimentary. You just make me wait longer for what I really want, which is the fall off. Which is what he kind of hyped up. This is the thing about J. Cole, and that's why I have no fucking sympathy for this guy. Because there's some people who have mad hype behind their albums, and it's because their work is so grand and so good. It's like, oh my gosh, I need more of that. Mm-hmm. But J. Cole's one of those guys, he'll put it on himself. Like, he'll literally grab the 4-5, put it straight to his chest and be like, oh, what was it? For example, Black Friday with the when UK dot shit dropped, bitch never. Okay, and everyone's thinking what's happening in February, and it never happened. Okay, that's one time. Second time is KOD 1985 intro to the fall off. You didn't have to put that part. No one forced you. You are the owner of your fucking label. No one's forced you to do
There were no features because there was no one in the studio because it's only you on that song.
Literally only you. You are the only producer and you are the only feature. So no one is actually forcing you to do this, Jermaine. So when people are asking you, where is the fall off? You can't be like, oh, but I wanted to retire. What is this? Like, how old are you? Like, that's what I'm saying. I have no sympathy for that. Like, Kendrick will just shut the fuck up. He'll come when he comes. He's not, a patient man. So like, like whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so that's why with this guy. So the fall off was at least in terms of like conception, at least 3 years, maybe longer, because he said intro to the fall off. So he had that as the intro. So that is completely just destroyed. And we've had 2 new albums. That's 2 things. One, the creative energy is just so intense over the last 3 years. There's just so much work going to come out. okay, cool. That is a reality that's possible. Or something went so left with the fall off, he had to start again, and now you have these other songs that kind of come from that. I don't know which one. I would assume the latter, but I don't know why people are just acting like that isn't like something to kind of, you know,
question.
To put an asterisk.
Yeah, because that original, because he brought out 2 singles last year, and weren't they supposed to be from the fall off?
Oh my!
This is what confused me. Was it like what was it? Lion King on Ice or something?
Yeah, and the Climb Back.
Yes.
So again, I don't know why people act like
words
mean things.
Are they getting shelved? I don't know what's going on.
So if he's changed again, so that'll be twice he's changed. This will be his third go at the fall off. If those don't end up on the album, then I'm doubly concerned. Why are we acting like okay? I know for a lot of people it doesn't mean anything, but words mean things. Like the word album is different to the word mixtape. I know that concept just eludes people, whatever. So if I say the first 2 singles to the fall off, so that means, are you telling me 1985 is no longer the first single then? There we go. Seems like why is no one bringing these things up? And even those songs didn't get the best reception as well. Like I liked the Climb Back. I know a lot of people, myself included, did not like Lion King on Young Simba on Ice.
Yeah.
So I was like, I get why you're in the. I'm excited for it. I get it because obviously, like I know he put the whole bar. He's bring back the basketball.
Whenever there's
theme.
a basketball in there, come on, you know.
But. Okay, let's go with that, right? Why are we acting like people love Off Sideline Story? People shit on that album so hard. I don't think it's that bad, but literally it got to the point, right? It's still on the internet. Someone made up I think it's 72 bad lines from the Sideline Story. I swear to God, search this up now if you're listening to this. It's fucking hilarious, I can't lie. Not all of them are legit, but a lot of them are pretty legit. Like, damn, that is a shit bar. So we're not gonna act like every single basketball themed album is good. Friday Night Lights is a banger. The warm up is a banger. But by the way, guys, those are mixtapes. J. Cole's actually never performed on albums. And again, I know this doesn't mean anything to anyone. Like, especially the thing is, J. Cole is a fully mixtape era guy.
J. Cole's never performed on albums.
Actually, no, it's okay, Forest Hills Drive he's performed. But yeah, I mean in terms of smashing out the park. Because I'm not going to act like 4 Eyes Only is shit. It's not shit, it's just okay. Same KOD.
I think 4 Eyes Only was really good.
A lot of people in that bracket, I'm not going to say it's shit, because I actually do not believe it's shit. But in terms of smashing it out the park, like, oh my God, this is your peak. It was always these mixtapes. And again, maybe mixtapes don't mean anything now, but back in 2010 when he dropped Friday Night Lights, where he's using samples with impunity, that means something. Like maybe when you have to produce your own songs and you can't have the access to some of the biggest samples in hip hop, how do you perform? Does the song sound as good? Again, I know this doesn't mean fuck all to people. Also, I'm gonna listen to it, but if he misses this time, that's it for the boy. You're gonna
consider that 3 in a row.
That's it for the boy. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm not saying he's shit, but I'll never anticipate an album from him probably ever again. In terms of oh my God, I need to hear it. Probably never again. Like
I haven't been hyped. I haven't been this hyped in a while for an album.
But I don't understand, John. What has he given you to make you hype? Like, okay, I know people love to rag on me about Little Simz and it, whatever. But at least you gave me a single to be like, oh my gosh, what is the album gonna sound like? This guy just said, I worked 3 years on this. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's like he's setting himself up for the woe is me already. Because literally every conversation.
Well, it's because we haven't heard anything about this, really. We haven't heard anything from it. So that's why I'm like, it's a whole body of work that we don't know anything about yet. That's exciting.
Yeah.
There's not like constant teasers for it like there was with the Fall Off. So yeah, I don't know. I want to see where it goes thematically as well. Because obviously the last 2 albums have been heavily like concept based, right?
Yeah.
Like 4 Eyes Only was like a particular story about a friend of his, right? Someone who knew KOD, he's taking the whole idea of like addiction and stuff like that and running with it for a whole album. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's more personal to him.
Hopefully. Oh yeah. For a guy who literally features himself, he hasn't really fucking spoken about himself in like the last 7 years. But whatever.
I'm looking forward to it. Talking to J. Cole, I feel like the natural progression is to talk a little bit about Noname. seeing as they're the best of friends. She tweeted recently, and I know if there's one man who'll be relieved to hear this, it's my co-host Tops. She has suggested that she will be leaving her political takes off social media. She said, "I'm no longer interested in proving myself to an internet that will cannibalize the vulnerability of those who choose to publicly learn is cop shit. I'm interested in what my community tells me. Twitter is not my community."
You know what? Do you know what this feels like? It feels, for some people, it feels like when Kanye finally came back to the light. I won't describe how he came back to the light. If you know, you know. It feels like that. You're like, oh, we're one step closer. We're one step closer to getting our good old girl back. However, she did say explicitly she's not sharing her political opinion on Twitter. I want her to not share it on song. That's what I want. I don't really give a fuck what you do in your personal life. To be honest, that's not my business. But when I hear your music, I want to hear good shit. So if she brings out more singles like Rainforest, I'm going to be upset. I'm not going to lie to you. So that's what I'm really waiting for. But if she's slowly realizing, and I hope a lot of people get to this conclusion, that social media is literally for the shit, no matter how much political posturing they do, then we can actually just be a regular human being and have, and make good music. Like she literally said on the intro of Telephone, check my Twitter page for something holier than Black Death. And literally since then, it's been nothing but. So hopefully she can just go back to just, being a regular person.
I don't think she can separate how she feels about the world from her music anymore. Like I don't even know if it's a skill. Maybe it's an ability that some people have to go, I have these strong opinions. I don't want that to be my music. Whereas she obviously does.
It's not that I want her to remove it completely. I don't want her to be preaching to us. That's what I don't want, because then you get shit like The Big Day. Do you know what I mean? Like you can talk about how you feel about stuff, but don't be telling people you need to do this, you need to do that, or people should be thinking like this. And again, similar to Noname, this is exactly the problem J. Cole has. Do you know what I mean? Where he comes across too preachy, he comes across as if he's figured it out. And hopefully, just to loop back on J. Cole a little bit, I really hope this is the album where he kind of lets that go and stops trying to not tell people what to do, or just tell people how to think. Just let that go and be a rapper. Just be a rapper. Why not? And I'm not trying to act like that woman who said to LeBron, sharp and dribble. I'm not saying that, but just don't lay it on so thick for one album. It's been 7 years. Like, just let it go and just be a guy. Just work with other rappers like a normal... Like, why are you just that kid in the playground who just plays by himself? Everyone's like, oh, we need a fifth guy for the football team. You're just like, nah, I'm just going to sit here.
Do you predict features for the off-season?
If there's no features, I already know I'm going to hate it automatically. Why? I know that's quite extreme to say. Unless he comes out with the best verses of his entire life, then I know I'm going to hate it. Because that's 4 fucking albums in a row with no features. Who's going to like
I guess you've made a point when you've done 3. When you've done 1, you made a point. When you've done 3.
3!
For me, it's like, come on. Let's see you work with some talent.
I think when you really put it in perspective, that he hasn't really worked with another artist or producer in a
other than like the collab stuff.
In a reasonable capacity. He hasn't really worked with one in 8 years. Middle Child does not count. 8 years.
Be nice to see Jid on there.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that'd be so good.
Ooh, it's not going to happen, but can you imagine?
And to be honest, I think Jid is the reason why he has a fire up his ass, because Jid came out of nowhere. It's like, I'm going to take your spot. Straight off. And I think he realized that very quickly. Like, if I don't...
Board of Education left the town. He's had enough. Yeah. We love that line.
Yeah, I mean, Jid has been, for me, the best member of Dreamville for the last 3-4 years. I mean, straight off the debut album, I already knew this guy's going to be the next one. So, I think J. Cole looked at that and I was like, shit. Like, like, you know that meme when, what's his name? Oh my gosh. The guy from Taken, what's his name?
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, when he's smoking on that cigarette, pulling that, like he's just there, like, oh my gosh, what the fuck? Like, he just realized, shit, what's gonna happen in it? But whatever, I'll listen to it. We'll probably review it when it comes. So yeah, whatever. Let's just wait till then.
One final little one. Alchemist again. I mean, I don't know anyone who has the work rate of this guy. He released another short little. He's called it an album. It's only really 4 tracks. He's got a lot of like underground talent on there. 2 songs with Earl Sweatshirt.
Okay.
A couple of them are really good.
Yeah.
Really good. He's got like Boldy James, who he did an album with last year. Price of Tea in China. He's got Maxo, Sideshow, Pink Sifu. Yeah, a lot of guys on there. So
I think for our underground fans, they'll probably enjoy that quite a bit. Yeah, he's got Navy Blue on there. Yeah, he actually got quite a lot of people.
Navy Blue on the first track with Earl Sweatshirt. Yeah.
Okay, so it's half instrumental, half.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to listen to this actually. I'll put this on my list. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, is it? Have you listened to it yet? Is it just more of them? Is it more the same with Alchemist, just still on the run?
It's more the same. It wasn't my favorite stuff from him.
Okay.
I think the 2 tracks with Earl Sweatshirt were my favorite, particularly the 4th one.
I mean, here you go.
It makes sense, isn't it? Yeah.
I know people like to act like, some rap songs wasn't good. Have your jokes with the other one, whatever what the fuck that was. Yeah, whatever the fuck that was. You have your fun with that one, but some rap songs is a fucking banger, so you can't take that away from the kid. The guy can spit like no other. He's really fucking good. But yeah, I'll give that a listen.
Yeah.
I mean, look at you having more time now that you finished the April challenge. How does it feel? You're a free man. Just let the shackles off.
I can't remember what I texted you afterwards. I was just like, I've never felt so relieved in my life. It was a lot. I think in that final week, I did like maybe 11 reviews in 7 days because I'd let some slide and I was playing catch up. But yeah, some quality albums. I think I did like The Streets in the final few days, a Curtis Mayfield album. I had to listen to like Mazzy Star, which is like kind of like psychedelic pop indie stuff, which obviously I don't really listen to much. So that was like, those reviews take a little bit longer. I don't know. Did you do any reviews that like, it's a type of music that you're not used to reviewing, so you're trying to work out the vocabulary to like do it justice?
See, that's the thing. That's why I made that joke. So when Corday retweeted my review about his EP, so obviously John, in good spirit, right? Obviously John's a bit competitive.
Second week you mentioned that. Go on, sorry. What was that?
Yeah. Keep going. But yeah, so obviously he messaged me. He's like, obviously, I think John, he expected a bit more love from his reviews, and I get that. That's fair. But now I was like, look, John, you've got your list is like a 50-year-old man made this. Like, what the hell? Yeah. So my answer to that is hell no. I literally just put down stuff like I wanted to listen to or was within my like comfort zone, because 2 things, right? In terms of albums I really want to listen to, it's probably going to be in the genres I'm interested in, hip hop and R&B. So I chose those. And 2, I only have a day to take it in, so I have to pick stuff that I can actually digest because of the music knowledge I have. I'm not gonna fucking listen to Nirvana when all I listen to is hip hop and R&B. Like, it's a challenge to review, not a challenge to understand. Like, that's a whole different thing. So yeah, don't get me wrong, there's definitely albums from other genres that I'm very keen to listen to, like 100%. But if I'll need more than a day because my ears aren't attuned to those things. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I didn't do much of that. No.
I enjoyed the challenge though.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And yeah, I keep saying it, but I think we should both actually publish some kind of playlist from our album challenge. I don't know, actually, like maybe like, what do you think is fair? 30 tracks? No.
I was making one actually for like I was picking like my favorite 3 songs each day. Ooh, so I have a playlist, Nice but then tracks. The albums that were quite long, I just put my favorite 5. Or if albums I really didn't like, I just put 1. So
I've got a couple albums that come to mind there. Yeah.
But no, we'll do something like that. I think it's something we should definitely do in another way sometime in the future. So yeah, we'll definitely bring up something later on.
Yeah. Have that in the works. Yeah, let's get to our, obviously every week, Monday, you know the deal, Spotlight series. This week our 30th artist that we brought you was Sampa The Great. So yeah, I guess for those that don't know who she is, she was born in Zambia, spent some time in Botswana growing up as well, and then obviously came over to Australia, where she studied. Was it in Sydney? Am I right?
Yeah, studying in Sydney. Yeah, studying in Sydney. Yeah.
And then since about 2015, she's been releasing music. So yeah, one of the things I found so interesting was like, I don't really know much about Australian music. Like, with the exception of, I'll say the exception of, what's it, like that band Krangbin or whatever they are.
Fuck do I know?
They do like the kind of like psychedelic pop. With the exception of them and
Hiatus Coyote.
Hiatus Coyote.
From Australia, aren't they?
Those two. I don't really know much about the scene over there. So so yeah, it's interesting to get an artist who's kind of based there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean that's one thing that kind of opened my eyes, because I look back and don't get me wrong, I'm not, you know, bashing myself off or anything like that, but I look back, I'm like, wow, like we've really done 30 artists that most people probably haven't really heard of, or they haven't heard of at least half of them. Do you know what I mean? And now we've got one for our 30th one, was like completely just not part of the Western world. That's pretty cool. Do you know what I mean? Because I know people like to act like, people love to act like, oh my gosh, there's no music. When's Kendrick gonna drop? Whatever. When you realize how much music is out there that is actually good, you don't have to listen to all the shit stuff. You have to get through it. I understand that. But there's so much good music. And I feel like this was like a perfect example when I tried to tell people, like, look, this is someone who has never interacted with the UK. Is not an American artist. I don't think she's even really influenced by much of British culture, anything like that. And phenomenally competent. Getting co-signs from Kendrick, Miss Lauryn Hill, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, this was probably one of the most interesting ones. Like, wow, like I don't think I really heard anyone from Australia either. So yeah, this was definitely an eye opener for me.
I agree. Yeah, I think this is definitely one of those like new artists. Like I don't really know anyone that's been listening to her prior to posting. I mean, if you do and you have, then, you know, let us know in the usual manner. But
you should be a co-host of the show.
Yeah. Bring you on. But yeah, like obviously, you know, we suggested 3 songs. Like her 2019 album, we talked about on Instagram. You know, it was a lot about kind of her identity, as you said, kind of living in 3 different countries, with obviously distinct kind of cultures, traditions, things like that. So, you know, kind of dealing with that and working out her own identity, working out her own place in that is something that she looks at a lot on the album. And I know, you know, on tracks like, on a couple of tracks, she says things like, what was it? I guess I found my fortune, and like, I don't need home to feel important. Yeah. And kind of realizing that like that, like tangible thing she's looking for isn't actually tangible. And it's not about a location. It's not about, Australia is my home, or like Zambia is my home. It's kind of about looking more inward, which I thought was a really interesting message.
Yeah, I think another thing about the album you mentioned, The Return, is that it doesn't have anyone I've ever heard of before, and a lot of it is fucking good. Like, I'm very surprised by this one. I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of this album is fucking good. The instrumentation is really well done. I need to find out what producer she's on. Like, producing is really good. I think one thing you mentioned in terms of like finding what home was like. So I think there's an interlude where her friend calls her. It's like some black Australian woman. It's like, look, like I'm black, you're black. It doesn't like I'm black and I'm Australian. Like that doesn't change the fact that I'm black. Do you know what I mean? And I think that was a good message, because I think that's something definitely a lot of people on you know, on this side of the world can relate to, in terms of like, especially like first generation like black Africans or black Caribbeans. Like, you know, like I'm British, but I'm not really British. And it's like, you know, I'm Nigerian, but am I really Nigerian? But it's like, you know, home is what you think it is, like not where you kind of spend most of your time. Like, you know, if you engage with Nigerian culture and, you know, like, and you're Nigerian descent, you are Nigerian. Like, you can't let anyone kind of take that away from you, even if your accent is changing because you're traveling around the world and stuff like that. So yeah, like, especially in terms of the artists who we kind of reviewed, this is probably one of the most polished ones, I think. Yeah. To be honest, especially on her first album. I know she had a mixtape before, but she sounds like someone who was like already kind of found her sound in a sense, or found what her bag is. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, top, she used like a crazy amount of flows. Like one time, like she sounds like, I think the song we put on Final Form, where she sounds a lot like Little Simz, and she's just flowing, like just going crazy. And other songs she strips it back. Yeah, like she's very, very, very special rapper.
I think actually, sorry, you mentioned I just had a quick Google, and in terms of like production, I know we'd mentioned that she'd worked with was it Quez Darko? Yeah. She So I know she's had obviously Hiatus Koti, which you mentioned.
Yeah,
she
of
worked
course.
with one of the producers from that, from their work on this album, and also with apparently someone from Boy Better Know. So
who? Which one?
MSM. Who I'm not sure who that is.
I don't know which one. I've never really heard of him much in BBK.
MSM.
Oh, have you said someone like Jammer or something? Okay, cool, fair enough.
And also I think it was mixed by John Wayne, who's actually a very competent rapper. If people don't know who he is, you should check him out. So it seems like she's got those links. That's the interesting thing, right? She's got those like links out there in the music world across like the UK, US, but she's yet to kind of like be introduced to the audience fully. So
I think
it'll be interesting to see what happens next.
It'll probably be like a big feature that does it, or her working with like a big artist. But again, it doesn't really seem like. Obviously, I can't tell, and it's just with music, but it doesn't seem like that's where her head's at. I think she likes kind of getting a co-sign because she said, your favorite rapper, Pete My Goat Potential. I think she likes the co-sign of that, but I don't think she needs that to kind of, get her music out there. And obviously, I think another thing as well, like, when artists say we're going on a world tour, and then it's literally just like England, America, so maybe one Asian country and Australia, and it's like whatever. But I think we forget there's a whole like rap scene outside of UK and America that will just and it's sustainable in a sense as well. Like she could just probably just live off being a famous Australian artist, and that's it, because Australians like rap as well. So who knows where it goes. Maybe she just stays a local artist, maybe she blows up. It kind of depends on who she works with, but I think either way I'm definitely tapped into what she's doing next.
For sure. And obviously you can find all of this, our 3 songs as well, on Spotify on our Spotlight series playlist. You can find our latest post. You can see our song of the day on Instagram at Final Collective Pod, and also on Twitter at TVC Pod. You can also email us, of course. Our inbox is, I was about to say our inbox is always open, but I said that before and Top 8 didn't like it, so it's not always open. We do filter them. It is finalcollectivepod@gmail.com. So feel free to give us an email. We'll be back after a quick break. You've probably seen in the episode description what we'll be reviewing today. So we'll be back in a moment. We're back. So as you will have seen this week, we are reviewing. It's a 5-year anniversary of Skepta's Konnichiwa.
Today, 6th of May.
Today, 6th of May.
Right on the money.
I feel like we need to probably give some kind of context to this album for people to kind of like better understand it. Where should we start? Doing it again?
I feel like you kind of have to. So only because this is do like a quick whistle stop tour. So obviously 2011 set the scene, right? So we don't need to give a fuck about the album, right? Doing it again, we don't talk about that. But there's one song in particular we just have to fucking talk about, which is All Over the House, right? And at the time, I think when this came out, I think I was in secondary school, something like that. And I didn't listen to Skepta that much. I didn't even know it was Skepta who made this song until years later, but I knew about this song. And I was like, holy fuck, like, I don't feel like I should be watching this on my mum's computer. Do you know what I mean? I just don't feel like that's something I should be doing. But whatever.
You were singing it though, weren't you?
I don't think I was. I don't think I liked the song like that. I was being honest, because like, I don't know. Like, I think at that age, I didn't care for overly sexual songs. I just liked rap songs, really, if I'm being honest.
Such a purist.
Not even that. It's just, it was either rap songs or Trey songs. That was it, really. I didn't really have it in between. Like, it was passion, pain, and pleasure, or it was like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and Watch the Throne. That was my life, wasn't it? So, so that's why this was a bit weird. Like, I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And so you got doing it again, and also you move on to his purchasable.
You gonna let it go that quickly? It was not good. Come on. I feel like that was his, like, poppy dance, like dubstep kind of experimentation. Like the kind of his kind of first attempt, right, at making it transatlantic.
Yes.
Not
his last.
Not his last, but his first. And yes, I guess he kind of made all the mistakes that a lot of artists make when they try to reach those wider audiences. So I feel like that was the kind of like misplaced attempt. And then, he kind of moved on from that. Thank God he didn't do it again.
I feel like he did, but it's just that's the thing. So I know, obviously now we know Skepta's like a proper British lad, right? But yeah, like you said, so obviously after all that fucking like controversy and shit like that, he drops the mixtape Blacklisted, right? It came out like a year later. Obviously he addresses a lot of what happened with the whole thing about getting cancelled, quote unquote, with All Over the House and stuff like that. But I feel like, do you know what it is about this album, right? It's like, pointing fingers but not realizing the shit on your own finger. It's like you're cussing other people for making American songs, but then you have literal American songs in this, like fucking Bad Man in Tivoli or shit like that. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like the damn cheek, right? It's like that guy saying, oh, I could never date a girl who's, had a high body count. It's like, do you know who your girl is? Like, I don't know if you know, and you might not know, but I feel like everyone else can see it. Like, there's so many American reaches on Blacklisted. I think that's part of the reason why I didn't like it as well. I know if you're a keen watcher. So fuck am I saying? Anyways, I reviewed this for my March challenge, right? Yeah. So this is one of the albums I reviewed. And I said I was indifferent about it because it's like, yes, there's some good songs like Ace Hood Flow and stuff like that. There's, you know what I mean? Or what's the other song? Same Shit, Different Day. Like, there's some good songs here.
Castle's good song.
Yeah, Castle's good. Yeah, I feel like the
Preps and Conan one was it Tour Bus Massacre. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. There's some good songs here. There's no doubt about that. No doubt. But there's other songs like Bad Man in Tivoli. What was it? We Begin Things. What's the other one that was meant to have Kano? Lay Her Down. Yeah. Don't like that either. Like, there's a couple songs I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Are you trying to be like, it's like he still lives in that, like, garage era where it's like, that song we playing. I was like, no, like, it's 2012, mate. Like, we're way past that. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I'm just really indifferent about this one. I feel like this was his kind of meant to be like his I'm still here kind of thing, and it was like, oh, you still got a lot to prove, mate. I don't know where. It's
supposed to be his like, his matured album, right?
Yeah,
like he's made the mistakes, he's coming back, and I mean, for me, I didn't hear it when it came out at the time, so it's obviously going back and listening to it, and it kind of makes sense seeing that progression.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like, in retrospect, it does, because you've got like all those reflective songs. You've got kind of a lot of features which are, it's not N dubs again, thankfully. Like he's got some good features on here.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So obviously a huge improvement on the previous album. Then there's like the really, what is it, that song? Is it Simple Life? Sounds like some kind of Daft Punk.
No, legit. Like, I can
French
imagine
house song.
No, legit. I can literally imagine like a James Blake feature popping up at any second. Listening to it, like, no joke. Like, it's a really weird song from him as well. Like, it just felt like maybe he saw what Wretch did with Don't Go, and he's like, I could do my own version of it. Like, I'm the best here in it, so why not? And it's like, no. Like, I think I said something like, Skepta wanted to prove to himself that he could do anything and everything, and it's just not the case. Like, and I still believe that about this album. And Skepta fans, right? This is like that's how I know Skepta fans have mad cope, right? Because when it comes to Skepta's discography, they try to act like you've got Konnichiwa and Blacklisted. It's like, whoa. One of these is not like the other. One of these is not like the other. What's going on? Like, we can't do that. Like, I know you guys like Skepta, but Blacklisted is not in his, like, that's not the album you should be putting towards people. Be like, yeah, this is the one. Like, 'cause it's not.
A lot of people think that's the album, though.
It definitely is. That's mad copium. Like, that meme I sent you, just there, because it's like Drake when you realize, shit, he doesn't have like a classic album. Fuck, I just used to fit one in. It's like that. Like,
people have we've taken so many jabs at Drake recently.
We have.
I think we need to lay off the memes for a little while.
I mean, he's a big artist, right? But that's why we mention him a lot. Like, we don't mention artists that aren't worth mentioning, right? So, you just got to take it. Got to roll the punches, isn't it? But, like...
Yeah. Oh, no, I was just going to say, moving from Blacklisted, right? Like we had a 4 or 5 year wait. You know, what's Skepta up to? And then
a lot happened for him as well.
Yeah.
That time.
And then drops Konnichiwa, and as we kind of
you can't just say it like, oh, he just dropped Konnichiwa. Like, come on, like so much shit happened in between that, right? Like, obviously he had the Kanye co-sign with the all day thing at the Brits.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that first, right? So obviously 2015 BRIT Awards. Kanye I feel like here's how it went, right? So Kanye's at the Brits, and he's obviously with his wife, ex-wife Kim Kardashian. He's there, okay, cool. And then obviously this is post Yeezus, right? So he's probably pissed off everyone he's like worked with at the time. So he's like, shit, I have no like backing singers or vocalists or anything like that. But then he looks around, he's like, what's your name? My name's Skepta. Okay, cool. Do you want to come on stage? Okay, cool. You rap, right? Yeah. He's like, okay, cool. And he's like, what's your name? Novelist. Okay, cool. You come on too. And then I feel like that's literally how it happened. I don't think for a single second he knows who the fuck any of those guys
he wasn't tuned in.
He don't think he was not at that time. Drake was, but I don't think Kanye's like, shout out to Skepta. I don't think he knows. Literally, I don't think he even looks at them throughout the whole performance. I watched it, right? So he has to man them, right? Yeah, they're all wearing like black hoodies or whatever.
Yeah.
He doesn't look back once at any of them, and he's standing with one of the biggest artists in the country. He doesn't give them any mind, like at all. Like, what did you think about this moment? Because you surely probably saw it on like TV or being spoke about at the time.
No, yeah. I mean, obviously, that was it was a huge moment. I think we talked about it in an earlier episode, didn't we?
I'm not sure.
What episode did we talk about it?
There's a lot of episodes now, isn't it? So.
No, but huge moment for British rap, and especially for like the grime scene,
sure.
even if it wasn't for Kanye West, a big moment. And like obviously it's mentioned in one of the songs on the album with the little clip of someone going, a group of young men all dressed in black, dancing very aggressively.
That was a good impression, actually. Yeah,
I feel like I hate that I do that voice well. I haven't practiced it. So I feel like there was a lot of complaints as well, which is what that like points towards, people kind of seeing that on their screens and not being able to compute what's going on.
It also shows
the white
how much
middle
shit
class
has changed as well.
Just
like, like mad. Like, remember, this is the same fucking demographic that loves the nuts of Stormzy, AJ Tracy, Digga D, Villiers, all this shit now. And imagine that, right? Like, Kanye West is just literally just saying all day, throwing in the occasional nigga here and there. Like, and they were like, oh, I just cannot imagine this on ITV. And now we're literally listening to someone, like, drill's like a thing now, right? Like, just insane how the times have changed.
Yeah, I think that was the main thing, wasn't it? Like, one of the things, like the lack of censoring any of the language.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're completely right. How the audacity.
Yeah. The same Britain, right? The same fucking Britain. Like, it's, fucking ridiculous. But, I feel like the biggest thing that happened for Skepta, like, in between his albums or even his projects was the Drake co-sign, right? Yep. So Drake does this now and again. We all know him to do this. Like, he just randomly just put an artist on, like, oh my gosh, I like this artist from a country that I'm not too familiar with. And everyone's like, oh my God. Everyone just goes crazy,
Drake
right?
just discovered them.
Yeah. But two things, right? So one thing is, I do have to give Drake his props because he's been tapped into the UK scene for a while. Obviously, like, co-signing Sneakbo, like, way back when and all that stuff. So it wasn't his first rodeo. But it is just kind of weird. Like, he just posted the culture clash. I think it wasn't even a culture clash. I think it was them. It was a clash between Skepta and... what's his name? Begins with D. I cannot remember now. Whatever it was. So he posted a picture of him, like, clashing with a guy. I like how I just said whatever he was, like, it's probably like not a competent artist or whatever. I'm probably going to get heat for that or whatever. But so he posts that and everyone goes crazy, like, oh my gosh, he knows about Skepta. Even Skepta's like, well, fair enough. Like, he's probably surprised by that as well. And then they formed like a big relationship from that as well. I think they worked together on Wizkid's remix. So oh my gosh, I'm gonna get it wrong and I'm Nigerian. I'm not even gonna do it. Fuck it. So they worked together on Wizkid's remix. I'm not gonna go out like that. So yes, obviously it's a big moment for Skepta and a big moment for UK music because now it's like the lot. Obviously, yes, you have Giggs and Sneakbo who have kind of been like propped up by Drake, but this is Drake is stepping in to that, you know, UK Hermes Birkin. Like he's fully just putting his foot in now. Like I am British. Like he's going all in at this point. Or just the beginning of that. So yeah, I think this was definitely in terms of like the eyes on the UK. I feel like there was definitely a shift. Do you think that's the case?
Massively. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like I remember that time. What we were probably been in like first year, second year,
something like that. Yeah.
No, it definitely felt like a big shift in like the eyes of the world, and now on like Boy Better Know, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it did definitely bring a lot of attention.
Mm.
It's definitely a positive thing. Drake was just born in the wrong country.
Well, I will say it's really fucking weird, right? I'm just gonna say this, like. It's pretty strange you got that tattoo, isn't it? Like that is pretty fucking weird. Like I don't know, you can't skin that cat anyway for me to think that's normal. Like I get it, you're a big fan of their art, but Skepta doesn't have OVO tatted. I don't think he does. No. You know what I mean? It's like
to. No one was asking for it.
Exactly.
You've co-signed with us now. Show your allegiance.
Literally unprovoked. Like, you know what it is? It's like your girl coming home one day. It's like, oh my gosh, guess what I got done today?
100%. I can imagine it now. He's like turned up to the studio just unannounced, and he's like, boys, look. And he like pulls up his leg sleeves and is like, look. Like, what?
BBK. Like, oh, it's just like that's just weird. I don't know. That's just weird to me. And it like, I guess for them they were like, shit. How do we repay him? Oh, I guess we'll just sign you to BBK. Even though that doesn't mean anything to Drake. Like Drake being signed to BBK means fuck all. But they have to feel like, you know. I think it's in sociology was like if you do something for someone, like innately they feel like they have to pay you back, or there's two ways. They feel like they have to pay you back in a big way, or they have to find out you're a bad person, so they feel like they don't have to pay you back. And I feel like with Drake, it was like shit. Like he just seems like a genuine good guy. He's just really happy to be here. Like we just have to do something for him now. So fuck it. It's mad weird, isn't it? Mad weird. But yeah, they formed like a pretty solid relationship after this, didn't they? I mean, obviously why this happens, didn't it?
Yeah. And obviously one of the songs which we'll get to felt like a Drake throwaway. But
whatever. Cool. But yeah, then as you mentioned, we get to Konnichiwa, which came out again this time 5 years ago. Big year to come out. Obviously, looking back, 2016 was probably one of the best years of hip hop in a very, very long time, maybe even ever. Some may say very strong year. And this is, and again, like we're in that phase where it's cool to be unapologetically British. Like J Hus and Mostak have been around for a couple of years now. Mm-hmm. Dave is in the mix now. He's obviously worked with Drake at this point as well with the Wanna Know remix. Like a lot of things that happen.
Stormzy's up, like
Yeah, Stormzy's coming up now. I think it'll be like another year until Stormzy drops his debut. So Stormzy's not fully there yet, but he's getting there as well. He's still doing like Drake covers or whatever the fuck. So yeah. So you get this and it's like, okay, I've got all eyes on me. I need to drop something that is like, I feel like there was a lot of pressure for him to drop something that represented the entire country. That's kind of the vibe I kind of got, just given all this context. But yeah, would you agree?
Yeah, I think they felt like there was, like this was going to be it, right?
Mm.
Like it was it felt like a big make or break when it dropped. It's like, I know, you know, he's had kind of, like he's been around the block for a little while, like probably at that point, like he'd been around for like a decade, which he mentioned in the song, right? Yeah. But it felt like, you know, all roads lead to this.
Yes.
All roads lead to Rome. Like, well, you know, everything kind of led up to this album. So yeah, and I mean, didn't disappoint at all. And yeah, we talked before we started recording. We're like, are we going to say some crazy things today? I don't know. We'll just see what happens. But I don't know. Felt like one of the best like grime albums of the decade for sure. If not, is he gonna say it? If not the best? I don't know.
Oh, go on. I mean, John definitely for the go on then say it.
Yeah, I'm saying it. I feel like it's possibly the best grime album of the decade.
You know what? I'm gonna do you one more. See, you know me. Come on, get your chips in, boys. So, not only is this probably the best grime record of the decade, Obviously, shout out to his brother, but you had a good shot. But this is probably up until Grey Area. This was the best album the UK had in terms of rap, hip hop, whatever the fuck. This was the best one, period. And if you look at the decade, it's probably top 3 to top 5.
From the UK, yeah.
From the UK, this decade, straight off. I don't care what you're talking about. Like, and that is a very, very surprising thing to say, given Skepta's kind of like road towards here, right? Like, Skepta's competent, yes, but I don't think anyone ever thought he was going to have an album of this magnitude. And there's no way you could have predicted that, because this was like pushed back like a couple years. I think it was meant to be another album. Similar to what we said about J. Cole. He did the whole J. Cole thing, was like, it's going to be another album. Then he scrapped that. Then it was meant to be Konnichiwa. Then it was like pushed back a year and all that stuff. It's like, what's going, like, does he have it? Does he not have it anymore? And then here we get this, right? So it's like just an insane moment for him and the country. And then, yeah, I feel like, again, like, it's one of those like cultural landmarks for sure. And even then, I feel like it's the only album I'm gonna go harder. I'm gonna go even harder.
Go for it.
There you go.
I'm gonna raise you one.
You ready? It's the only UK rap album this decade that's a classic. Don't give me Big Conspiracy, don't give me Common Sense. I like those albums, but this is the only one that we consider the classic.
Like universally across the board.
100%. It's the only one. That's a big props.
People would say, I don't know. People would definitely say Common Sense is a classic.
It's not a classic. It's a good album. It's a good debut, but it's not. It's different. Like, when the impact that Konnichiwa had, as well as the level of quality like throughout the album, is on a different plane to Common Sense.
It's over 90% of it hits. Like,
yeah, literally.
I'd go back to 10 of the 12 tracks.
Yeah, literally. And compared to, like, Common Sense is good, but there's at least maybe 5-6 songs I'm like, actually, this is not my thing. It's again, for a debut, and I always have to give this because people act like I'm not fair. Like, I don't know where they got that from, right? You know what I mean? But whatever.
Probably listening to this podcast a few times.
Whatever. How could they possibly get that, right? But yeah. I feel like when it comes to debut albums, I'm not expecting you. It's like a rookie in his first NBA season, right? I'm not expecting you to come out and just be the best. I know plebs think that. I know people really thought Zion Williamson was just gonna come and just dominate the NBA in his first year. Like, whatever. Like, who the fuck ever does that? Literally, no player in history has ever done that. You have to have some time under your belt. But for a debut, it was strong. But it's not Konnichiwa. I think even people who like J Hus could admit that. You have to. Because then you need to give me an argument as to what Common Sense has more than Konnichiwa or over Konnichiwa, which I don't think it has in any metric, if I'm being honest.
And from what you said, like, and from what we both said about Konnichiwa, like 10 of the 12 tracks, I'm going to say are bangers.
Yeah,
and,
straight
like,
bangers.
There's quality control on it. Even with, I mean, 100%. You can kind of forgive 2 songs out of 12, right? But like...
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's not bloated in any way. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we should just get into some of these songs.
Yeah, go on. Hit me with it. Where do you want to start?
I want to start with the not so good ones.
Okay.
So yeah, the 2 songs I kind of skip from it are right smack bang in the middle of the album.
There we go.
Track number 6 and 7. Ladies Hit Squad. So this is kind of like the American portion of the album, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, he has, what is it? Not ASAP Nust and DWE on this. As I said earlier, this is a track I was referring to when I said there was a Drake throwaway, and this 100% feels like either Drake was meant to be on this, or Drake kind of had the beat made and was like, yeah, no, I'm alright. You can get ASAP Nust on this one.
He just baited him into it.
Yeah, no, I didn't enjoy this. Yeah.
I'm very glad we aligned. We haven't even spoken about this, so I'm very happy we aligned on this. So yeah, Ladies Hit Squad. I literally have my notes. Absolutely the fuck not. And numbers. And yeah, obviously we haven't even spoken about Pharrell much. We'll get to him, but Ladies Hit Squad. Again, there's just this thing. It's like the devil on the shoulder of rappers, where it's like, right, I have a competent, cohesive project. it's probably going to be really great. I've done everything I want to. My whole artistic integrity is completely watertight. And then that devil says, but what about the ladies? It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, what about the ladies? Every time. And I feel like it was just one of those songs like, oh, but what about one for the ladies though? And this had to come in.
Always happens. It happened to Heady One last year. It happens to everyone.
Like, it's just a bug. They just can't get. They have to do it. Like,
let me give them a slow one. It's like, no, they don't want a slow one.
You know what? Fucking yeah, exactly. You don't know what the ladies want, Skepta.
And also, they're not listening to your album for one song. It's not like they're skipping through. They're like, oh, this is a bit much. Where's the slow one for me?
You say that, John, but it was one of the lead singles, which is awful. If I heard this as a lead single at the time, I'll be very worried. Because I'll be like, shit, it's just Blacklisted too. But luckily, it's one of the two songs where it's like, okay,
it's
cool.
The two ducks in the middle.
Yeah, but yeah, that and Numbers. Oh my God, this song is bad.
For someone of Pharrell's caliber, right? For someone who's so prolific, talented, like producer, mastermind, right? He is really capable of some shocking features.
I literally think Pharrell has a clause where it's like, you gotta put me in, coach. If I produce for you, because he helped co-produce some of the songs here, or he was like an executive producer. I feel like he has to have a clause, like Swiss Beats. It's the same fucking shit. It's like, put me in, coach. You gotta put me in. Like, it's part of the deal. But like,
player manager is like, no, we just need you to manage. Yeah, literally. Stop getting on the field. You're 39.
Literally like fucking Rudy playing for Derby and also coach the fucking team. It's like, oh man, just gotta get in there, mate. Like, whatever. Like, this song, it's not. I don't know which one is worse out of the two, but this one,
I think Numbers is worse.
I think Numbers might be worse as well because the beat is worse for one and has some of the worst bars I've ever heard from Skepta, just period. Like, literally period. It literally has a line where he says, yeah, just picked up a new pack of the loud, smell that, wow. What the fuck? Like, like, it's bad. I'm like, man, like, you're lucky it's just two songs because I would have came for you, mate. Like, yeah, this song is bad. Like, not the transatlantic link up it should have been, to be honest.
That's it. Got the X, got the purple, got the green. Because every day, man, I get lean. You see me on the front cover of a magazine, winning Sheen.
Literally. No way this was done without like a couple shrooms in their system, no doubt. I swear to God, because and this is another thing about Skepta as well. Every time he veers away from the promised land, he's like Simba in The Lion King. Like, like you've been told, what's that over there? And, you should never go there, Simba. Like, that's the American beats. You should never go there. Yeah. Like, whatever. Like, every time Skepta veers away from like a non-British sound, he sounds awful. He sounds so uncomfortable. Every time he's on British sound, he sounds amazing.
Yeah, like, he does not sound comfortable on this beat
at all. Like, he's just not. It's not his thing, and that's the thing. I feel like certain artists. I'm so glad Skepta's kind of just humbled himself over the years. Mm-hmm. You just gotta know what you're strong at. You gotta know what you're weak at. No, you can't sing on every fucking song, even though you're a rapper. That's not gonna work. You're not Drake. You can't rap over everything. You're not Freddie Gibbs, and that's fine. That's Freddie Gibbs. He can do that. There's some things you can do that Freddie Gibbs can't. You just gotta kind of, it's good to experiment, but know what your bread and butter is and know it well. Like, if you're gonna try something, at least let it not fall flat on its face. Mm-hmm. And these two fell quite. Like, you're not gonna try and finesse me with Ladies Hit Squad and put in DEE and be like, oh, like, you're not gonna do that. I see what you're doing there, but you're not gonna get me there. Like, it's not gonna work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, we got the shitness out of the way, innit? So let's go to the good song. So yeah, where do you want to start with Konnichiwa?
Oh, I don't know.
A lot of places to start.
There are a lot of places. I feel like we've got the shit out of the way. So I'd say there's a 3-track run in this. I don't know if you would agree.
If you say what I'm thinking, I just know we have to be co-hosts forever, John. I have a 3-track run in my mind as well. Yeah. Let's see.
There's a 3-track run. And it begins with Man, and it ends with That's Not Me.
There we go. It's exactly the same.
These three songs are huge.
Holy shit, right? Like,
that's not to say anything about the last two songs on the album, or anything about the first 5 songs, but those 3 songs are they're epic.
That's probably one of the most insane 3-track runs I've maybe ever seen from a UK artist. I'm going at like fucking hell. Like, this is, and that's the thing. Like, fair enough. That's the reason why you can stomach Ladies Hit Squad and Numbers, because you know right after that you're getting Man, Shut Down, and That's Not Me. Right, track after track after track. Like, there's nothing more British than these 3 songs. If anything, like, if you say what sound defines Britain, one of these songs is definitely going up in that list for sure. Like, it's such a good run. Like, yeah, even Simz, over everyone, I'm saying this straight out. Like, this is like an insane 3-track run, and I don't think even he's gonna do this again. Like, it's just one of those like lightning hit 3 times somehow, and here we are. Like, insane. I mean, let's start with Man, right? Yeah. Like, one thing, and again, this is quite consistent with the rest of the album. Skepta is really good at making hooks, especially on this album. Like, his hooks are so infectious. Like, it doesn't even have to be like wordplay or anything like that. It's just catchy. It either gets you jumping or it just gets you hyped. Like it's just there. And obviously this one, when he's like, I don't know why man's calling me family all of a sudden. Like, my mum don't know your mum. Stop telling me you're my cousin. Like, it's just funny. And then obviously, like, getting into the whole, that's a pre-chorus even. It's not even a fucking chorus, it's a pre-chorus. And obviously getting into the chorus, like, it's just, oh man, there's something about Skepta and hooks on this album. It's just, ridiculously infectious. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think it's, I guess it's a theme that he's kind of, that's present in this album, right? The idea of, you know, on earlier projects, he tried to like bridge that gap, you know, make the jump across the Atlantic, and obviously he's done that. And on this album, he's kind of, bar those couple of tracks in the middle where he's kind of like pandering to the American sound, right? Like he's been there, he's done that, and he's now kind of like looking back at it all, or like becoming aware of, you know, how this has impacted him on, you know, we'll talk about it on earlier songs like Corn on the Cob, where he kind of gets really personal about it. But yeah, on this, he's kind of looking back at his roots and trying to be kind of true to himself. And like that bar you just mentioned, like ignoring those people that are like riding his coattails or like jumping on his success and being like, oh, I'm your day one. He's like, no, you're not. Like, who are all these people?
Who the fuck are you, mate? No, 100%. And that's the thing as well. Like, this album is so unapologetically British. Save 2 tracks. It's so unapologetically British, and I think that's exactly what the UK needed for quite a while. Like, and to be honest, and again, the reason why I will say this album is a classic, and it already is a classic. It's been 5 years, but it will be like a bona fide classic. Is that if this album doesn't happen, do we get a Gang Signs and Prayer? Do we get all these other Grime MCs coming through the door? Do you know what I mean? Do we get such a massive acceptance of UK music overseas? Like, the way Drill's kind of loved overseas as well. Like, do we get that if this doesn't happen? I don't know if we do. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why this album is so important to the culture. Yeah. It's so culturally significant.
100%. Because you've seen what the result is when he's tried to kind of change his sound, and like he said as well, there's a quote from him saying, like, rather than breaking America, like, I want Britain to be just another place that raps, because of, like, that's how a lot of US artists first like started to enjoy British music, was through the like quintessentially British sound, because it's different, not because it's trying to imitate or like jump on American flows, but because it's something completely distinct. So yeah, that's definitely something that is not just about this 3-track run, but this album.
100%. And not even having Drake on this as well. Like, I feel like that was a really good move from him as well. Very good move, because obviously there's so much hype. Like, obviously him and Skepta have a relationship going wild and stuff like that. For him to kind of take all of that, especially, don't get me wrong, like, Skepta's always been a pretty big artist. Like, he's probably been earning good money over the years. He's been independent for the majority of that time, but like past 10 or so years. Okay, cool. But then Drake hits you up and it's like, I love your music, I'm gonna get your fucking record label tattooed on my arm, most guys would be like, oh my gosh, you need to be on a song, like you're the biggest artist in the world, sorry. And this is Drake in his prime. This is like, you know, people are still on Drake's nuts, like super heavy. It kind of reminds me of when Stormzy rejected Jay-Z's feature. It's like that, but probably bigger. Like it takes a lot of guts to be like, I actually don't need that. I'm like, this album's gonna walk on its own, like perfectly fine without you being here.
And am I right in thinking that, like, for all Drake's association with like British music, I can't name many British albums other than Edna that he's on.
What, Skepta?
No, Drake.
No, Drake. Yeah, that's true.
Edna's the only album I can think of.
That's true, yeah. Because he did the song with Dave Wanna Know, but that's obviously not on
his album.
Not his album. Damn, that's true. No, I think you're right. I think you're right. Shit. Yeah, because obviously George Smith's album on More Life. Skepta's interlude More Life as well. Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Fuck. Yeah. So again, like, and it was definitely possible. Like, obviously we can assume, but it was definitely possible for him to do this. So, yeah. And I feel like a lot of people, again, because I think even since then, I think it's made it easier for people to be like, no, I actually don't need Drake on my song. Because he probably has reached out to like a Fredo or an AJ Tracy since then and be like, okay, let me jump in the song. And they're like, no, like, let's keep it British. Because everyone knows, right? And especially then, it was kind of like, not a diss, but it was like, oh, you know, here comes Drake again, you know, birthing another artist. And obviously Skepta is a well-renowned artist in his own right. So I think I'm so glad he kind of just stuck to his guns and just said, fuck that, do you know what I mean? So yeah. Honestly. 100%. And obviously, he did sample him on Shutdown. It was funny, but you know,
trust me, Danny. I feel like that's up there with Habibti. What's it where he says on
on Only You, yeah. Oh, he goes through phases, man. He does. But but it doesn't take away from the song.
Doesn't. Shutdown. He made 7 different instrumentals for this track.
Oh,
and this one made the cut. Yeah.
Damn. Good choice.
Very good choice.
Good choice. Good fucking choice.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously this song makes that reference to the kind of skit in the middle of the song that references Kanye West bringing them out. Yeah. Obviously, you know, uproar from white people, let's say. The aggression on their screen, which was probably just another way of saying why there's so many black men on my screen.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Like, you know what it is? She probably literally just watched, like, I don't know, someone get killed on the latest episode of EastEnders, and I was like, fuck it. Like, literally, you watch that, right? Or you're watching, I don't know. Literally, like,
it must be linked.
You literally watch that, and then you think, oh, that's fine. You know, my kids enjoy a bit of EastEnders, someone getting shot or whatever. And you go into ITV, and like, oh, how could they? They're saying words like that mean things. Like, what? Like, it's insane, isn't it? Like, it's like, I've said this to you before, John. Like, rural England in particular is just a world that is so like mystifying to me, because it's just like now and again, like the things that they would accept or reject, it's just boggling. Like the fact that they took Stormzy in with open arms, but Kanye West was too much. It's just that was
it reminds me of the opening to Damn as well, right? That news clip.
Yes, exactly the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Lamar, like Lamar stated. Can't remember how it begins.
And we hate the popo. Want to kill them in the street for show. I was like, please, I don't like it. yeah. It's literally the same thing where it's like. Yeah, and he literally said it in the song, this is not my culture, this is my religion. Like, do you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's like, just fuck you, innit? Like, this is what we do. It's not just like a phase, or it's not like a trend. Like, it would just be in ourselves, and you're hating on that. And it's like, how are you hating on that when we're unapologetically British? Unapologetically. Like, how can you hate on that? It doesn't really make any sense. No. Do you know what I mean? So, no, such a good song. And obviously, it's probably the biggest hit Skepta's ever had. I think that's fair to say as well. So, yeah, definitely works in his favour. And obviously, that's not me with the good old bros.
Great quotes. You say you're Muslim, you say you're Rasta, say you don't eat pork, don't eat pussy.
Liar.
You're just an actor.
He was an actor. So funny.
Yeah, no, you're right. Big, like his biggest track. Huge. Probably one of the biggest tracks of 2016, sorry, right? Or did it come out in 2015? Yeah.
I think it came out in 2015, no, I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It actually didn't chart that well when it initially came out, actually. I think it's quite
the longevity of it, like it just stayed around.
So, like, every time you go to the club, like, they're always going to play Shutdown. Like, every time. Every fucking time. And they probably still would, to be honest. So, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad. Yeah. Third of the trilogy is That's Not Me. Gone?
Oh, no, I was just going to sneeze. But, yeah, no. I think it's good to see the bros link up in it, Jamie and Skepta.
It's nice. Brotherly love.
Yeah, no, I really like... I think, just for my personal favourite, out of the three... It's weird to say this, innit? But we're talking about a really good album. I'll say Shutdown's my least favourite. I'll say Man, That's Not Me, and Shutdown in that order. That's Not Me is a really good song. And you know what? Yeah, again, this one I'm talking about the cultural significance as well. Because when he talked about like not wearing designers anymore, people took that seriously. Like people definitely reflected on themselves. Were like, rah, like, you know, what's going on? So you saw a huge shift in terms of people just wearing tracksuits all the time.
Like, what are these designer labels actually doing for us? Or like, what are they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and obviously, Skepta is obviously quite tapped into fashion, do you know what I mean? But I think it definitely made people take a look back and be like, oh, why am I just trying to wear the latest brands all the time? Obviously, Stormzy came out of his own brand. JS came out of his own brand now. Like, again, that's the cultural significance. I think out of all the things about this album, the cultural significance is literally, if you could rank it out of 10, it's literally a 10. It's literally a 10. Like, it's just so relevant to so much that happened since then. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, and one line I thought was just so funny because I knew it came from the heart. Like, I feel you, Joseph, where he's like, and obviously Drake quoted this line as well, where it's like, love for the G's in the end, but we don't love no girls in the end. I mean, he says something like, last time I fell in love with a sket, but trust me, I'll never do that again. I don't know, I thought it was funny, but I was like, I feel you, Joseph, I feel you. Like, I know wherever that came from, it was a dark place. I understand. But yeah, I thought Jamie was okay, but yeah. It was decent.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It made sense as well, because obviously Jamie is someone who's kind of like shunned like the normal trappings of like rap lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it made sense to have him on that track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Where should we go?
Anywhere you want to go, let's do it.
Let's go for Corn on the Cob. We'd already kind of mentioned
Corn on the Cob, yeah.
Yeah. Did I say Corn on the Cob?
Well, yeah, I get why you got that. It was Corn on the Cob. Yeah. But yeah.
I've even written it down in my notes, Corn on the Cob. This is but yeah, so that, you know, he kind of starts it off with a bit of a monologue. He's like, I broke down a few more barricades, got me a few more accolades. But yeah, it's a great, I think it's a great song, kind of looking at that idea of you know, all the pressures that are kind of getting to him and feeling a bit in limbo, like he's not the kind of like lifestyle and the type of people that he's met through this like musical journey. He doesn't feel really in touch with them because what was it? There's a quote in the song where he basically just says like, they're not. It's not like they're not legit, but like I don't feel comfortable with them.
Yeah, when he's like, oh, like you know, I'm too black to be with them man, but like I'm too ambitious to be the man them on the road. Yeah, that's in the skit at the end. We'll get to that. Yeah. We'll definitely get to that because fuck me. But yeah, because
I mean, on Doing It Again, obviously he had a feature from, was it Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, like he's been there and he's been in the studio with these people, and obviously doesn't feel. Maybe I don't know whether it was Puff Daddy, but doesn't feel the connection with the people that he's met at the top.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he has a video where he speaks about this. Shout out to Mike's from Slime Talk. He directed me towards this when I was doing Blacklisted. In terms of it's called Underdog Psychosis, where he's kind of basically talking about literally what we're talking about now, where he feels like, you know, a large time you kind of felt like you're meant to be in a certain position or a certain place, but really and truly you just need to basically saying that you just need to back yourself in it. Like you just need to focus on what you're doing and don't worry about all the other stuff or how much money you're getting from whatever and stuff like that. So I think this album this album actually does kind of cover a lot of that, because it does feel like he's finally gone to a place where he's not concerned about what the reaction's going to be. He's just doing what makes him comfortable. Mm-hmm. And that's always a good place to be as an artist. But then, yeah, I mean, obviously the song itself, Corner Curve, is good. Like, I have a quote from here where it's like, us man are blazing Powers, them man are blazing Benson. My brethren said it's his birthday, took him on stage with Drake and Section. That is a flex. That is a nice line. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I like that. But, obviously, Wiley's verse was good on this one as well. Like, Wiley was cool. But the part I really want to talk about is the phone call with Chip, you know. And don't get me wrong, I get the message of it, but I thought it was weird, did it? Because, okay, right. Because the way I kind of took it, right, is like, I've come to you, I'm definitely down bad. And then he's just saying, you're going crazy, fam. I'm like, wait, I'm literally pouring my heart out to you. Like, if I say to John, yeah, I don't really know, like, my career, like, I'm, my partner, I don't know where it's going. Like, you're going mad.
Sort it out, come on.
Yeah, sort it out. Like, what? Like, I'm literally trying to open up to you. Are you telling me you're going crazy? Like, yeah, I want to know what you think about this skit, John.
I thought it was funny. And I also thought it was a bit upsetting. both, similar reasons, right? Like, Chip's just kind of, it's that funny situation, right? Like, I feel like people laugh a lot of the time about how guys try and like express vulnerability with each other and try to express emotion. And that's how this conversation feels. It feels like that Chip's uncomfortable with hearing this, hearing Skepta talk to him in this way. And he's like, I don't know what to do with this. Yeah. Sort it out. Come on. Yeah, sort it out. So I feel like that's their shorthand for having a DMC, a deep motivational chat.
No, I 100% agree. Like, even then, it's like, one thing I thought was so funny when it's like, them man don't want to talk about. They don't have a fucking clue. It was so funny. It took me all the way the fuck out. Like, I don't know why I found that so fucking funny. I did. Yeah, like, I get the premise of it, innit? But I feel like maybe Chip was not the right person. Maybe your brother, maybe your sister. I mean, they're pretty relevant in the scene. Like, they could have told you you're doing great. But whatever. I get it, innit? But I just thought it was I won't say toxic masculinity, but kind of like that. Like, I'm literally breaking down and you're just telling me I'm moving mad and power up.
Power up, yeah. What he said at the end? Superpowers, fam. Supercharged, bro.
This is why you can never tell a guy that a woman cheated on you, because literally that's what's gonna happen. Like, look, my heart's broken. I caught her in bed with another man. Power up, fam. Powers.
Yeah, he'll be crying. He'll be like, the mission's deeper right now. You don't understand.
You don't know how.
Not everyone got the ring.
He would tell me, oh, the mission's deeper, but like, I saw her in Missionary. Like, what's going on? Sorry, I'm here all night, guys. I'm here all night. But whatever, yeah, I just thought it was weird, didn't it? But I get it, but it was weird. And there's a couple places like that in this album where the skits have just not resonated. So let's go to the next song, right? Crime Ridden. And this is like, there's certain songs like Freddie Gibbs, you just make me feel like such a fucking G. Like, oh my gosh, I'm such a G. And the chorus for this one was like, Feds want to strip him mad. Oh my god, I was like, oh,
I want to put in the van, yeah.
Yeah, like, it just feels so grimy. Like, oh, so good. Like, another hook that's just like knocking out the park. Yeah, but it kind of sounds like something that would be on his next album, Ignorance is Bliss. I can kind of see it going on that album as well. So, I really like this one.
It's proper gritty.
Proper gritty. He's like, fuck that, I ain't a Chippendale. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I love it. I love it so much. And also he's talking about getting in a fight with someone in the club for spinning. Yeah. Like, yeah, do you think that happened? I don't know. I'm not convinced. Do you feel like this is like a situation that actually happened?
Oof. I don't know. I don't want to say no because I don't know. I don't know what his past is. So, but yeah, there are so many great lines in here where he's talking about those situations. He's like, what is it? Made him shmoney dance. I made him rock away. Yeah.
No, good song.
Do you not think he did? Do you think he didn't?
I mean, if he did, then fair enough. It's an interesting story. If it didn't, I think it showcases a good storytelling ability from Skepta, actually. So I think either way he kind of wins, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the lyrics, yeah, they were funny. I didn't take much in terms of lyricism, like, oh my gosh, he's spitting, but like I just thought, oh, it's a story that kind of got out of hand. He's talking about literally praying, begging for his life in court. So part of me is like, did this happen? Like, what happened? I didn't really. I was trying to search as well, like in the news, Skepta gets caught in a fight, but I didn't find anything, so I'm not too sure. But good song, anyways. Like the chorus is more than makes up for it in this one, like 100%.
Yeah.
But again, one thing we need to mention is this video game skit, right, where they're on Xbox Live, whatever. I need to know your thoughts on this because I fully do not understand this. Like, I have no notes and I have no explanation for this one. Like, I don't get why this is here. Why do you think he put this here?
The video.
Yeah,
I've not seen the video.
Not the video. No, not the video. At the end of the song, where like they're on Xbox Live or whatever, and the American guys kind of cuss them out. It's like, oh, come find me or whatever. Like, yeah. See, you look very confused as well.
No. I don't know. It was just like, oh, cool. Next track.
Yeah, it's just very like there's a couple of places like this, and that's the only thing. That's the one slight I'll give this album, apart from the two songs, where like the skits on this, I just don't see it for it. Like I don't see it, and it's hard to get skits right in it. That's why I usually do without in it, but whatever.
Because I mean, go back to that corner of the club. It could have been. You said it could have been his sister, his mum, his brother. It could have been Jeremy. That would have been perfect.
Yeah,
and he could have got some good advice on the phone rather than like bury your pain. There are bigger fish to fry.
Literally,
there are bigger
said.
Works, bigger things going on. He tried. Yeah, he did try.
Yeah, no, fair.
But yeah, that moves us on to It Ain't Safe, which has a great chorus. Chorus from, was it Young Lord?
Yes, I think he's part of the
ASAP Mob, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his ASAP name, but yeah, Young Lord. Oh, man. Mate. I mean, come on. Like, you can't hate this song. You actually can't hate this song. No. Like, it's impossible. Like, this is... It's the most infectious hook on the album, I say that. Yeah, for sure. Like, it's just... Oh, man. Like... Every hook, and this is very rare for an album. Like, there's some really good albums. There's some fantastic albums. But not many albums have so many great hooks. Like, almost every album, almost every song of this album has not just a good hook, a fantastic hook. It's like, fucking hell, Skepta. Like, gosh, yeah. Like, I don't know where you pulled this out, man. Straight from your ass. I don't know how you did this, but yeah. I mean, he had a line here that I just want to quote where I think it's kind of addressing a little bit kind of the time taken for the album. For he's like, said I'll be a minute, of course I was an hour. Never disturb a baker when he's mixing up the flour. I liked that a lot. Some great lines in that song. Where did he even find, and how did he choose Young Lord out of all of the ASAP Mob? That's the part that doesn't really actually. So that's interesting, right? So in 2014, for the Culture Clash, so Skepta was the current champion of Culture Clash, and one of the people he was going up against was the ASAP Mob. So I think they came over. So it was actually beefing, but clashing against ASAP Mob. Yeah. So I think before the Culture Clash happened, he made a song with Young Lord. Okay. And that's how the song kind of came about. And there's also another ASAP guy. I know we like to act like it doesn't exist. I think, is it Nudie or something like that on Ladies Hit Squad? So there's two ASAP guys in this album, but obviously one...
Oh, it's ASAP Nast.
Yeah. One is not like the other. Yeah, one is not like the other. So yeah. I think so before he made a couple songs with obviously he did, didn't it? Because obviously Praise the Lord comes out a couple years after, and that's fucking amazing song.
Great song.
Great song. So yeah, he probably just kind of got locked in with the ASAP Mob whilst they were here. So yeah, that's probably what happened.
Yeah, and then obviously we've done those middle tracks.
Let's talk about the title track. That has to be one of the most important songs on the album, more times than not. So obviously that kind of starts off the entire album. Actually, and let's talk about the title as well, right? So why call it Konnichiwa? Because that's one thing that I think a lot of people don't really kind of discuss. Like, why call it Konnichiwa? Why not just call it Hi, I'm Skepta. Why not call it Welcome? Like, why Konnichiwa? Why do you think he kind of chose it to be in Japanese for a British album, for a very British album?
It's I've only really like thought about it in a very shallow sense of being like, okay, it's yeah, no, I don't know.
It's strange, isn't it? Let me throw you something, and I see what you do. Right, so obviously Skepta has been gone for like 5 years album wise, so yeah, that's a long time for an artist who isn't like, he's not a legacy artist at this point. He's a big artist, not a legacy artist. So he's gone for 5 years. He's obviously had so much like exposure between that time. Kanye, West, Drake, all this insane shit, right? So he knows when he drops this next album, he's gonna have a whole new fan base.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of new people tune into him. Yeah. So why not call it Konnichiwa, because that's international.
Yeah.
And this album's going to be seen internationally. So it's kind of like an international introduction to Skepta. So put in a different language to kind of show that international flair. What do you think?
It makes sense. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about it in the sense of like, I feel like Japan has quite a large like hip hop and like grime consumption. Like there's a lot of consumption of that particular genre of music. And I know I've seen so many people talk about the way that like hip hop and R&B has been like consumed in kind of like Southeast Asia and then reproduced amongst artists, and you know there's like no recognition of where that influence has come from at all. That's an episode for another day.
No, it's like that meme where it's like you know that meme where someone gives something, it's like, you made this? Yeah. And then they go away like, I made this.
Yeah.
That's what it's like, with the Asian scene.
K-pop's just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Where does this come from?
Who could have thought it, right? But yeah, I'll continue.
So yeah, I get that. I don't know, I feel like there should be a deeper reason. Because it feels like just a bit of a random title otherwise.
Yeah. No, I get you. I think there must be a reason for it. I do think it's I'm gonna go with it like, yeah, the stamp as well, British stamp. Do you know what I mean?
He's mailing himself out to the world.
Yeah, exactly. I think it is like some sort of like a mark, like, okay, this is like my international debut in a sense, and it really was. So maybe he kind of just knew it was gonna pop the way it did, given all the kind of stuff that happened prior, which is fair.
And I guess Konnichiwa being foreign and him being foreign to the people who will be consuming it.
Yeah, it's possible, but yeah, that was an interesting name. I like it. I don't dislike it. But it's just interesting that you call it that, like, instead of anything else, like anything else. Not even just call it Skepta. Not even a self-titled.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But yeah, like, so the title track. Obviously, I think you get the whole message of what of why he's at this place now and what he's trying to achieve. Because obviously, he lost a child, he lost his friend, so Lukey, and again Drake wore the shirt for him, like Lukey's World. It's on his Instagram somewhere. So yeah, so I think him kind of losing obviously a friend and a child gave him a lot of perspective on shit. What actually matters? Is it the cars? Is it the clothes? Like, is it the devil in a new dress, or is it like me just, you know, like I said, he's got no patience. You know, he's got no patience. He's got no time to waste. It's like, yeah. What did you kind of take from this?
To me, it just felt a bit like what you said. It felt like a mission statement. Like, he's been around for a decade. He's not messing around like this time. Like, this album is his, what's the word? Is it?
Magnum opus?
Yes. Yeah. Magnum opus. That's the word. Yeah. Because obviously there's so many like references to, like you said, to his past, to how he's got to where he is right now. So, just feels like he's aware of like the moment that this album is.
Yeah.
So I kind of took from it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously, I mean, we haven't talked about lyrics, and obviously, I like Novellis. Like, he's not bad, but one thing I will say is a bit of a bait here. Obviously, the song's called Lyrics, but I don't feel like Skepta is lyrically just murdering it. Like, I would have kind of expected that from the songs. Obviously, like, lyrics for lyrics, calm, but
I kind of understood the song to be like an ode to like rap battles, or to like what like grime is kind of based on, which is like trying to, you know, obviously like compete or like put the other person down, dissing each other, right? And obviously Skepta, that's kind of how he kind of like rose So Fame in the first place was through that.
Yeah, 100%.
Beef with what was his name?
Devilman. That's the man.
Come on, yeah.
Fucking got it. Yeah, Devilman.
And obviously, like, yeah, as we said, like rap battles and dissing and sends are like one of Grimes' linchpins. So
yeah,
it feels like a
banging song though.
Yeah.
Again, another fantastic hook. Fantastic hook. Like how he kind of like laid his voice and kind of put it behind the production as well. Like, you know, it's people don't talk about Skits as a producer enough, and I feel like this album, he definitely has some sick producer chops on this one. I can't deny that. Like, it's pretty impressive. Like, yeah. Good song. Yeah, I think I actually like Novellis' verse more than Skepta's actually, but I think both come to it. It does feel like a clash. Like you got that one verse, you got the hook, and you got the other verse, and it's kind of like they're both kind of repping their set kind of thing. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. I thought again, Skepta's just being hilarious as well. Where he's like, when he's talking about your girl looks like work, man wouldn't beat that even if I was burst. So fucking hell, Skepta. Like whatever. Yeah,
there are a lot of funny lines in this.
No,
I'm just reading through it, but yeah,
no, he's just Skepta had a good balance. Like again, just in Konnichiwa in general, like he didn't have to come with like mad lyricism or anything like that. He was just so direct and to the point. I think that's why a lot of these songs work. He's not trying to be anything other than direct. He's not trying to do anything else. It's exactly what it says on the tin. And again, I think for a lot of people, and again, I know I say this, but we have to keep saying it because people just won't get it the first, second, or third time. We just call this album a classic, right? John said it's the best grime album of this entire decade. I said it's the only classic the UK has this decade. It has no concept. Not really. This is not the songs tying together. It's not like it's telling the story. So I just want to point that out there because I know people feel like it's such a fucking requirement.
It can't. Was it and concept albums are the only types of album that can be classics.
Like, no, like, do you know what I mean? Like, literally, we're just talking about how fucking good the songs are. Not like, oh, and this one leads to the next one, and like, no, you don't need that. And I think that's what I'm saying, and that's why I really like this album because it's like, let me just give you bangers, and that's it. Like, there's no fucking around in this one. And yeah, I get why he doesn't do this again because it feels like, oh, he's just doing Konnichiwa too. I get that, but yeah, that's just something I wanted to point out.
For sure.
Anyways, let's round this up for the last two tracks, right? So we got the BBK cut and we got the outro Text Me Back. Which one do you want to start off with, John?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let's go with Text Me Back.
Okay.
I like that song.
Okay,
it felt
cool.
It felt a bit left field for me. Like I wasn't expecting it, I think. Because I know you said there's a bit of vulnerability in other tracks. And yeah, it just felt a bit like quite a surprising song to hear. Him kind of being, reflective, like, oh, he's leaving this girl on red or whatever. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It felt more. It felt more of like this is want a song for the ladies, but I still enjoyed it. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I think you're right. I don't think it's a song for the ladies, actually. It reminds me of Sherbet Sunset by Little Simz, where it's like, you're being mad vulnerable, but you're still being a thug about it.
Yeah.
Like, you're still rapping. Like, this is a fucking grime beat as well, which that kind of, in terms of the message, I get it. Maybe just my brain, where if I hear something quite vulnerable, I expect a softer, like, instrumental. I get that. But yeah, it's still grime instrumental. I get the sentiment. I think the chorus is a bit inconsistent with the second verse. So obviously the chorus is him talking about like, him wanting to keep the girl in his life.
Sometimes
and then he talks about his... like, do you know what I mean? Talking about wanting to keep this woman in his life. And then the second verse is talking about his mum. And it's like, that's a bit weird. Like, do you know what I mean? You could have just changed the verse for your mum. Like, I think that's the only thing. It's slightly inconsistent in that sense. But yeah, I like how he kind of stuck to his guns and didn't try to like sing it or make it really like, R&B. She's like, yeah, like, this is how man feels. And like, I care about you, innit? But I got rap to do with it. Like, I got money to make. That's literally how it feels. Like, oh, so you know man cares, isn't it? But yeah,
I like the first verse though. It's kind of it's kind of touching. Like you were saying, it's his kind of attempt at like, being lovey-dovey. How you mix the Chanel with the something Preem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the palace. Yeah. That's a good line. That's a good line.
Oh no, it's how you mix the palace with
Chanel.
This with Celine. How you mix the Chanel with the Preem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Wow. Yeah.
That's random as well.
I hadn't thought about that though, the inconsistency of verse 1 and 2.
It's weird. I thought he would have kind of changed it to fit his mum, but he didn't. Because if you look at the lyrics, like, it can't apply to his mum, because that'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Like, that would just be a slight bit weird.
I'm not texting my mum back.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think, let me just get the chorus up, because there's a part of it, it's like, it can't be about your mum. But obviously you're talking about your mum. Let me
so
just
I never mean
check.
to disrespect you.
No, not that part. Obviously, no, that's fair. No, it's not that part. I'm getting up now. It's the part where he's like, I ain't met nobody I want to be with more than you. That's why when the sun goes down at night, man, I'm calling you. Obviously, that cannot be about your mum, innit? Like, you know, that's I mean, I hope not, innit? I hope that's legal here just yet. So, yeah. I think he could have changed it to kind of fit his mum in the second verse. I think that would have made the song very holistic. It just kind of felt like, the album's almost done. I can't bother to go in the studio and think of another hook, but whatever. Yeah. But again, minor things, innit? Minor things. Yeah, and the BBK cut, let's round it off with that.
This, to be honest, this is probably one of the songs I've listened to the least. Okay. I don't know. I feel like after that little 3-track run, I was kind of...
Insane, innit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad, though.
No, not bad. Just, yeah. Not one of the biggest tracks.
Yeah. It's hard to beat that 3-track run, innit?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, I get you. 100%. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I actually don't have much to say about this one either. Like, it's a BBK cut, innit? Like, they do well.
They're just, you know like, not talking about anything in particular, but talking about a lot of things.
Literally just talking about getting high. And yeah, like, not staying away from the ganja. But again, the shining part of the song again is the hook. Like, again, like, you know, when he's like, went to the hills, trying to kick back, still want to cheat and chat. Like, just the way he says things, like, it's just, he gets it so, like, it's ridiculously right how well he gets it on this album. I'm going to keep saying that. Like, so even the songs that maybe you don't like the verses as much, it's like the hook just gets you. Like, you're not going to skip it. Like, it's like, it's still catchy.
Said a quick smoking, but I just bought a pack. Or was it?
Yeah.
No, I just bought me a pack. Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean that kind of rounds it off, and then let's do favorite top 3 tracks. Why not?
I mean, have we not? I feel like
fair enough.
Favorite track outside of those 3?
Yeah, let's do that. Actually,
Ooh, I'm gonna go purely for the kind of like chorus. I'm going it ain't safe, just because that hook.
Yeah. I want to go there as well, but just to add a bit of variation, I think that's probably my favorite outside those as well. But I also do like a lot lyrics. I do like lyrics quite a lot. I do like the Times track a lot. I like crime. Okay, yeah, I'll say lyrics. That's probably the one I go to the most outside of the top 3. Yeah, lyrics is a really good song. Yeah, I'll say lyrics. But yeah, I mean, that's it really. Like, I mean, you haven't checked this album out. 'Cause I know a lot of people, there's still a lot of people who are quite like snotty nosed about UK music, and I get it. I'm with you there. But this is one where you have to give it a look. Like, it's so fucking fun to listen to. Like, it's so good. It's really good.
44 minutes, and it's just pretty high energy the whole way through, really. Yeah. And just again, if you've been here 30 fucking episodes, you know how snotty nosed John can be. John is bougie with his music taste. I don't know why he's doing the shocked face. I'm giving the shocked face right now.
Yeah, it's not many UK artists he gives the time of day. Yes, he might like his slow tie. He likes his little Simz and all that. But
this is when it comes to what are you talking about?
But when it comes to the average, like, okay, even J Hus as well. But in terms of calling them the best album, the best of something, he doesn't say that often. He doesn't.
I don't. So that's true. So, I'll give you that.
So I think that gives you the kind of level we're talking about when it comes to this record. Also, Mercury Prize winner as well. So, you know, go give it its props. Like, you know, if you don't want to keep on banging on about Psychodrome winning the Mercury Prize, then let's give Kenny Trials props for doing the same thing. So, yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be a while before I look back at another album and think, wow, like this, from a UK artist, like, I guess there's some sort of pride that comes with that, right? Like, wow, like, there's one guy who really got it right. Like, so good. And I don't think we had an artist since then that has got it right in terms of all the aspects of a classic. Don't get me wrong, like, even if someone said Grey Area was not as good as this, I get it. I 100% get it. I think maybe track for track, probably not true, but in terms of the impact, the replay value, all these things, like Konnichiwa has it in spades. Same with Nothing Great About Britain. Same with a psychodrama or anything. Like, you can't really, this really can't, it stands alone, like real alone in UK history. And it stands well within 2016.
And influence and context and like the story, everything as well, 100%.
Yeah, like, so I mean, I'll be interested to see how much like tweets or like posts are made about this, because it's a
talk to
big
us.
moment.
Let us know, you know, if there's a bigger or a better album from the 2010s. I want to hear it.
Yeah, no, literally. Actually, there's quick discussion before we round off, innit? So obviously he's dropped music since then. I was like, we've been going an hour on the beat, fair enough. But so obviously he dropped Ignorance Is Bliss like a few years after that. Do you feel like he kind of progressed in sound more, or do you feel like what are your thoughts in terms of that album? Do you feel like he kind of thought, let me just do something different, or do you think he's kind of stayed with that like formula, like, right, it's UK only from now on and let's just keep going from there?
I'm about to sneeze.
Okay.
So keep talking.
Yeah. I think I'll give my opinion. I think for me, he's definitely kind of kept it British. Like, again, I'm not expecting you to make Konnichiwa twice. Like, that's perfectly fine. But it definitely feels like he's finally gotten to that point where he can keep it British, but still be experimental with the production. So songs like Grease Mode, What Do You Mean, Love Me Not, like even with the love songs on this one, I feel like it might not be as good and the cutting floor might not be as great, but he's definitely found a bag where it's like, I can continuously make good albums from here. So what's your thoughts?
I enjoyed Ignorance Is Bliss quite a lot. I mean,
same.
What was it, the J House song, What Do You Mean?
Yeah,
Glow in the Dark, big song. I mean, not the high, not like the consistent highs of Konnichiwa, but I feel like there are enough great songs in here to be like what you said, like he's reached a kind of bag and he's kind of staying in there.
No, for sure. Like, that's me. I don't know why people act like it's Konnichiwa and Blacklisted. I'll say it's Konnichiwa and Ignorance Is Bliss. I say this is top 2 albums. Like, I don't care. Obviously, we're not talking about doing it again. Like, obviously, absolutely the fuck no, isn't it? But yeah, in terms of like top 2 Skepta projects, okay, Microphone Champion, I kind of get it, because obviously that has some big songs like Too Many Man. Like, I get that, but in terms of a whole cohesive body of work, it's definitely these two. So interesting enough, I don't think his time is done. Like, he's had some great features as well along the way. Like, obviously he works with Slow Tie as well, stuff like that. Obviously ASAP Rocky. I think he has a couple more in him. So I think that's what's exciting about this part of Skepta's career. Like, I know it's been quite a long time, but I feel like we'll reach a point where it's like, actually, no, he's far from done. Like, he's far from done, and he's not 40 yet. So yeah, interesting. It's interesting to see where that goes.
Watch this space. I feel like that kind of wraps it up, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, we're done. It's been a long episode. So
as we say every week, you can let us know on Twitter at TVC Pod, Instagram at Final Collective Pod. You can email us as well at finalcollectivepod@gmail.com. Give us your thoughts on the episodes. Retweet, quote tweet, do whatever you want. Don't message us, but quote tweet and let us know what you think. And obviously, leave us a review on Apple Podcast if you're feeling so kind. And
it's our 30th birthday. Be ever so kind.
It is, yeah. On YouTube as well, if you're listening on there, give us a little comment. And I feel like we should go on to our Now and Then playlist.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have a bit of a British week.
Okay, cool.
So my now song is going to be Pray by Avellino.
Oh,
okay. A great song. Second Avellino song on the Now and Then playlist now. I think you added.
What did I have before? I think I added Rich. I think it was Rich Soul. It must have been Rich Soul, because that's probably my favorite Avellino song. That's a fucking banger. But yeah, okay, go on.
He did say he's working on the greatest UK rap debut album. So we'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh, yes. Damn, he still hasn't dropped that.
Since
album.
2017,
That's fair.
he hasn't dropped a project.
Yeah, because Fuck Your Opinion was... Okay, cool. I'll be interested because... I mean...
things to look forward to.
Okay, cool. Okay, go on.
My then song is Mastermind by Skepta.
Okay. I don't hate that.
You don't
I do not hate that. I don't hate it.
All right.
I don't hate it.
That's good. Hit me with yours.
Okay, cool. So, my now song... Actually, I'm going to do two because I think we should probably talk about it at some point, but not anytime. So it'll be two songs from Princess Nokia. So the first one is going to be Sugar Honey Iced Tea. So that's from her album last year, Everything's Beautiful. Yeah. And then the other one I'm going to go with Saggy Denim from her other album, 1992 Deluxe. So yeah, I've been in my Nokia bag for the past week or so. Wow. She's one of those artists that, you know, like you don't listen to often, but when you do, you kind of get stuck there.
Two choices from her. So it's a coveted spot in this album. She must. We're gonna have to start.
I think she's good.
When we hit the hit time.
Good artist, isn't it? But yeah, we just haven't really spoken to her haven't spoken about her much. Yeah. But yeah, that's fair. That's it really. Like the man said, find us on all social media platforms. Next week have a pretty good episode. We're gonna have two guests on our first double trouble in it. So yeah, so catch us next week. We're gonna be talking more British stuff. Should be an interesting conversation. So yeah, happy Konnichiwa Day. See you guys next week.